Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. Welcome to this week's episode of Talks with TVBOO. Before I introduce this guest, I just want to plug some show dates I have coming up. This Thursday, February 20th, I will be in St. Petersburg, Florida at Giannis Live. Giannis? Something with the J. And I don't know if it's the J or H. I don't even know anymore these days. Friday, February the 21st, I will be in Brooklyn, New York at the Lost Circuit. And then Saturday, February 22nd, I will be in Richmond, Virginia at Canal Club. Hope to see y'all there. My guest this week on the podcast is one of my favorite promoters to play shows for. He's one of the biggest promoters in the Midwest, throwing events with the biggest rappers, the hottest DJs, and everything in between. He is also one of the owners of Wakaan Festival. Seriously, I love sitting down and talking with this guy. Some of my favorite things about him is that you can really tell that he loves the music and really cares about throwing the best event and giving everybody the best experience possible. Can't say enough nice things about this man. I consider him a friend at this point. He is the owner of Rare Diamond Agency and Subsonics, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Waylon Clark.
Let me take my tongue and go around your dirt track. I met a girl and her booty tastes like strawberries. I swear to God, this could be the one that I'm marrying. Hey, and she's so different. I need that from behind.
Dude, thank you for coming on my show, dude.
Excited.
Yeah?
Nervous.
Yeah, you should be. You know, this
Excited or nervous? Or both?
a little bit of the last one. Actually, yeah, mostly that.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Anything to get to spend time with you is good.
that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Well, I thought this episode would be really cool to do because, you know, I usually just have DJs on and, you know, this kind of gives a view of another part of the industry that a lot of people don't think about or like have any type of insight on. And you've been around this game for a very long time. I mean, but before we really get into it, man, I heard something very interesting about you not too long ago, probably about 30 minutes ago, dude. Did you used to be a rapper?
No, I have a twin brother who's a rapper.
No. Don't bullshit me, dude. You can't bullshit a bullshitter.
I mean, that's kind of in a roundabout way how I got started in music, was rapping.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What was your rap name, dude?
I can't tell you that.
Come on, dude. You got to let us know, man. This is awesome.
Oh my gosh. Warbucks.
Warbucks? Yes. Dude, when did you, do you still Warbuck it up?
We did a reunion show at a music festival last year.
Which one?
Norman Music Festival.
Hell, you said, wait, was it a rap group?
Well, yeah. I mean, I had a little conglomerate called Freak Show, and we rapped, and we had DJs or whatever. I had a drummer and different things like that. So
Hell
I don't know. I don't talk about it a lot.
Well, why not, dude? It's kind of fucking gangster.
I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's funny.
It's dude. I think you should own it, dude. You ever thought about going solo and just doing your own thing?
Just promoting my own shows.
No, just like being a solo rapper. And not
I
being
mean,
in a
I
group.
was I was the front man. I was a rapper, a DJ, and then we had a drummer.
Okay.
And then I had other guys that were solo rappers, and we would tour together. Like I played in LA, we played in Hollywood a couple times, played at the Whiskey A Go Go.
How long were you doing that for, though?
I don't know. I probably did that 5 or 6 years.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like, or I was actually like doing shows and making money and things like that.
You were making good money being a rapper?
I mean, it wasn't good money, but it wasn't bad.
Money, yeah.
It was extra money.
Was it intimidating, especially 5 or 6 years ago, being a white rapper? Because I feel like nowadays it's just kind of the thing. Like, you know, we got like a Young Gravy or like there'll be like Little Trust Fund or something like that. I don't know their names, but it'll be some white ass rapper.
Yeah, there weren't a whole lot of white rappers. I mean, there were several, but you know, it wasn't like how it is now.
Yeah.
You know, I paved the way. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Did you do like any studio albums with that?
Yeah, like we're on Spotify and all that good
I'm gonna
stuff.
check you out, dude.
And iTunes or whatever.
I want you to do a side project though, dude. I want you to call yourself Lil Papa.
Only if you do all the production.
I will. I'll make you a beat right after this motherfucker. Yeah. I ain't scared of nothing, dude.
Can I get a feature though?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Oh.
You'll see me rap tonight. You didn't even know. Oh no, you saw me rap at OKC. Yeah.
At what was that? Daydream?
Daydream, yeah. That was a fucking awesome event. Minus the tornado.
Oh, good God.
Yeah,
Was that the tornado?
Yeah, it was a tornado,
it was.
yeah.
The lightning storm. and all that
Honestly,
shit.
it was good that happened, dude, because I was, me and my brother came in. It was right before he had a baby, so we're like, fuck it, we're getting wasted.
Dude, your brother was awesome.
He's a good time. But we got drunk as hell, and they're like, Mitch, we got to go. There's a tornado. I was like, no!
You're like riding it out.
No! We're going to fucking fight this tornado, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was wild, man. That was when BTSM got scared. And
Yeah, dude. They were like talking. We probably didn't understand them. They're French. You know what I mean? It's easy to be like, they're like talking about a tornado. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about with your wee looking ass? Bonjour, your way on out
Bonjour.
of here, boy.
The LED wall was moving, so they had to quit
That was
playing.
crazy. I remember there was a guy just holding it. Would you say that's one of the wildest like stops to a show you've had?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had a stop before.
Yeah, that was the first time.
Like, the
Especially,
only
okay, see,
time.
there's tornadoes all the fucking time.
I mean, we just watch them go by. I mean, there's laws, though. Like, the lightning was within, like, 2 miles of where we would have had to shut it down. So we have apps and everything that'll tell us. We want to make sure people are safe.
It's like the cancel a show, piss people off app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try not to. I mean,
No, I get it. Yeah.
yeah, we had hippie sabotage in the middle of like an ice storm and sold out show. People still came out. Like, we try to make it happen, especially if the artists make it. Like, we want to do everything in our power.
The artists always want to do it though.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen an artist that's like, man, I don't really want to play tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
You know.
I mean, if they can get to town, we've had some, whether like we had Peekaboo got stuck. There was like a tornado
I saw that. Yeah.
at the fucking
Airport. Yeah.
Like, he had his headphones on and didn't even know they were like evacuating.
He's like in the Delta Sky Club, like jerking
chilling.
off while everyone's freaking out.
and that sucked because we had to cancel that show and everybody was really hyped about it. But he's rescheduling, so
Yeah, that'll be
we got a date set and all that. But people get mad. It's funny because people are like on his post, like, so glad you're safe. And then they're on our post, like, fuck you, Subsonics. You're not going to throw a free show now? We're like,
Yeah, they're like, we hope you fucking, your dick never works again, dude.
they're like mad at us. Like, sorry, I don't know. I mean, can't throw a free show. But some other promoters threw a little event.
What's the meanest thing you've had somebody say whenever something's completely out of your hands is not your fault? That's coming off the top of your head.
I mean, I can't think of anything word for word, but it's weird. Like, you'll have kids that come to shows and they're like, love me or love Subsonics and giving me a hug or thank you for everything. And then they'll be like on 3 days later on Facebook, like, fuck that guy. He's a piece of shit. And just like, what happened? Like, what was the disconnect?
Yeah,
I don't know. Bad drugs, maybe.
And they were scared that, like, they're like, he might be my father. Yeah.
Maybe. There was one guy, I posted an old picture and everyone was like, you look like just like so-and-so. I was like, sorry, buddy, I'm your dad. So now it's kind of a joke. Like, he calls me dad, but good stuff.
It's like, who's your mother?
Yeah, I may know her.
Yeah.
She may have come to a Warbucks show. She may be a fan.
She may have taken me. Dude, how long you been throwing shows for, man?
Probably, I think 15 years, 16 years.
Hell yeah. When'd you start Subsonics?
That was about almost 6 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, if the Subsonic didn't work as like a promotion company, you would just be like car audio shop and just use the same name?
Could have gone either way.
Could have gone either
That's
way.
why I had a backup plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, we'll do subs.
What got you to want it to start throwing events?
I mean, I grew up as a rave kid, and I grew up just into all kinds of music, going to shows, like whatever the genre, rock, rap, EDM. We didn't call it EDM back then, but so I moved after school. I moved to Dallas, then I moved to Kansas City, and when I came back to Oklahoma City, I kind of was like, there wasn't a lot of shit to do when I was a kid. So I just wanted to do my part to make fun shit happen. So, I was doing the rap shows and I kind of leveraged, maybe I don't want to call it a rap career, but just people I met, I would just make contacts and keep in touch with people.
Let me pause you real quick. When you said when you were doing rap shows, were you throwing them or were you
Performing.
doing your own? Okay.
Yeah. So I would I go to a music festival, meet people, just managers or different artists, and then artists would start hitting me up when they would come through, and so I would do shows with them or do like a 3-day run with people or whatever, and then I just started kind of learning the back end of it, and I knew I wouldn't be rapping. I didn't think it would take me that far. So I kind of had a backup plan.
It's not going to take you that far with that attitude. All right.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
Look, you can do anything you want. You know what I'm saying? You have a fucking beard, dude. You look like somebody who works, bro. You can do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I just kind of transitioned from that. And then I started, putting other local artists on shows and just kind of throwing parties and, started. We have Rare Diamond events. That's like, we do all different kinds of events. We don't just do electronic, but Subsonics are the electronic events. So
it's a basically like a hub, not a hub, like a corner office of the Diamond. What is it? Diamond?
Rare Diamond.
Rare Diamond. Do you own Red Diamond, or are you just on the electronic side?
I have, Rare Diamond's my company.
That's your company? Yeah. Okay, see, I'm learning as I'm sitting here talking with you. I just knew about Subsonics just because I'm on the electronic side.
Yeah.
What do you like doing the most? Like, what are your favorite types of shows to throw?
I mean, the Subsonics events are the best.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a good time. Rap events are taxing.
Yeah.
They're really taxing.
Would you say maybe the egos or just
it's everything. It's like the fans are crazy. Everybody wants to be on stage or side stage or, backstage. And then you have the egos. Some rappers are cool. Like Young Gravy, I mean, he's the shit.
Yeah,
Super cool dude.
I'm a fan, actually, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I like anybody that can make me laugh and get down at the same time. That's my vibe.
And his wordplay and punchlines are like, he's so slept on. I mean, he's cool.
Not slept on, though, dude. He's popping off.
He finally is. I mean, he was for a long time, but yeah, he isn't slept on. We're bringing him again for a second time with Dylan Francis.
Oh, dude, I saw that tour, man. That thing's going to crush.
So that's our first, I think electronic rap combo show. So
yeah, dude, you should put Young BOO on there, Young TVBOO on there on the rap side, son.
Let's do it.
I won't even DJ. I'll just come rap, daddy.
I'm down. We'll collab,
dude. Yeah, I'm actually.
We'll drop our first track.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Have a beer, don't fall asleep.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, I'm drinking my coffee.
Yeah, enjoy your coffee. Don't fall asleep.
It's gonna be a long night. I got to stay up for your set.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be even longer night for me, dude. I don't want to hear you.
You got a rough morning,
dude. I ain't scared of shit though. I'll take it on. I'll start swinging on the morning, dude. I'll fight a morning.
I believe it. You seem like that type.
Yeah, dude.
I'm excited.
I'm ready for it. No, actually, I am doing on me a comedy, a hip hop album right now.
Are you really?
Yeah, for real. I'm working on it right now. I'm about 3 songs in. I want to do about 8 songs.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, dude.
Dude, I can't wait to hear that.
But what are the biggest changes in booking, in bookings and promotings that you're noticing in the career? Like as the times go on, as the technology goes on, as the consumer's interest goes on, what would you say is the biggest changes?
I mean, it's always changing. I mean, marketing is always just a constant battle. Luckily, I have a great marketing manager. Shout out Misty.
Shout out Misty.
She stays on top of the trends and the way algorithms that Facebook has. Facebook has basically cornered the market on all that, so you got to go through them.
Like the IG posts and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all, and you can connect it all, but that's been the biggest change. Back when I first started, it was all about flyers and hand-to-hand interaction.
Right.
And now it's more just sitting at a desk, setting up ads. And
what was some of the craziest hustles you think you did to get people to go to the shows? Because I threw shows whenever I was younger in Jackson, Mississippi. I was the only one throwing electronic shows, dude. So I would just go up to really attractive girls that had no idea who I was or anything, and I would be like, "Yo, come to the show. I'll put you on the guest list." I was hustling like that. Yo, I'll put you don't have to pay, just show up.
Yeah.
What were some things that you would do just to get people out of your shows at the beginning?
I mean, one of the coolest things we did was we got booked on 6th Street, and it was a really late, long late night show, and we were really early, but the timing, we thought the show may end at midnight. We thought, we were on at 9 o'clock, so we thought it was a decent slot. We get there and there's no one in the venue. I mean, there's probably 15 people in a 300 cap room. So we just went out on 6th Street and started pulling people in, and I don't know, we ended up getting pretty much packing out the room. And,
what were you doing to bring them in? Just showing your tits or whatever?
There was a dude, he was on, what's that show? Tosh.0,
yeah.
The dude that wore the thong and played guitar like the Goat Man or whatever.
Was it the guy was like talking about ducks and fucks?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
We literally found him.
No.
Yes, and this was before he, it was a long time ago. So we get him to come to the door of the venue, and he's singing about our show. And we're getting, like, people are walking up to hear him, and then we're like corralling them into the show. And we probably, I don't know, we probably got over 100 people in there. I mean, it looked good. We got a good time.
That's not going to work. Nothing will,
I know.
dude.
I mean,
dude, there's a meme online where it's that guy and his fucking American flag on a Speedo, and it says, "Gonna tell my kids this is taboo."
oh yes, hell yes.
That's beautiful, man.
It was so funny when I saw that on Tosh Point. I was like, "Holy shit, that's that fucker from Austin."
That guy got us fucking people in there, dude.
I should send him a check.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, just because you do all different types of shows now. So what would you say are the hardest, like as far as genres? Now you say you enjoy doing the electronic shows the most, but which ones are the hardest ones to put together and get people in?
The hardest to put together are like bands. If you have a lot of bands.
Yeah.
And you're doing a lot of changeovers and back lines and bringing in all these instruments. That's what I love. I mean, that's one thing I love about electronic. It's like 4 CDJs, a mixer. Drive. I mean, it's pretty much standard.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you get bands and you get the backline list, you're like, shit. So you send it over to a company. They send you the quote for all the shit you need. And then you got to have a tech come with it, and it's just a lot of work putting that all together, especially when you're doing several bands, because they don't want, like, drummers don't want to share their shit.
Hell no, dude. I was just touring drummer for years.
And, I don't want to share that.
Drummer's like, dude, can I use your China symbol? I'm like, dude, can you go fuck yourself?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will if they've worked together and know each other, but it's
together a couple times.
Yeah, very rare.
See each other naked on a regular.
That helps.
Yeah, that usually does, dude. Like if I've seen you naked, you best believe you're gonna share your French fries with me.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So I mean, yeah, bands are tough to get people out. I don't know. I wouldn't say any specific genre is hard. Rap can be tough.
I feel like rap would be tough because, like, if DJs are on the up and they have a little bit of hype around them, I feel like people are excited to see that. But I feel like if a rapper's not really popping, like not hot, it's going to be a lot harder for people to give a fuck.
Well, it's crazy because you can book, like, I'm older, so I'll hear of a legend that's on tour, and I'm like, shit, people will come out to that.
Like a Project Pat.
Yeah, or Scarface or whatever, and you book them, and you're thinking, yeah, this is... But the crazy part is everyone's hyped because it's all old people like me. It's like, yeah, we're going. Then you get to the show day, and can't get a babysitter, you have work the next day, and all this shit comes up, and it's like, a show that you would think would have a couple thousand people ends up with like 400. You're like,
yeah.
What the fuck? And rap's all about what have you done lately? It's like,
right.
Rolling Stones could tour for 100 years. I mean, they are the Rolling Stones, but you get a rapper that had a good career, but it's 10, 15 years later, nobody gives a fuck. It's weird. It's weird.
I went to an 8 Ball and MJG show, and it was like empty. I was like, what the hell? These people have no idea.
Yeah,
dude.
Too Short was one that I thought was going to really smash. It didn't do bad, but it just wasn't as good as I thought.
What's the biggest bomb show that you've had that you were like, this one's going to crush, but it just did not?
We had... I hate throwing people's business out.
Do it, dude. Fuck it. This is
we had 2 in a row. It was Oliver Heldens, and it was just because it was, he's a huge house DJ, like huge. East Coast, West Coast probably smashed, but he came through the Midwest, and there was 500, 600 people there, but should have been, 1,200. So that was tough. I'm trying to think. There was a show right before that. It was like a country show. I can't even remember what it was, but it was a big loss. It was like 2 of my biggest losses were like 2 days apart.
Yeah.
So that's tough. But when I became a promoter, I was talking to another promoter who'd done it for years. And this always resonated with me. He said, don't get into promotion if you wouldn't take a duffel bag with $50,000 in it and light it on fire. And it's resonated with me because it's like, that's kind of what it's like sometimes. It's like, you can't look at like each show. You got to kind of look at month to month, and that's
The
what I've
bigger
learned.
picture.
Yeah, 'cause it's like, okay, this month we made this much or lost this much. It softens the blow when you get caught up on each show, because not every show is going to be a winner.
How long were you throwing shows before you actually started making money doing it? Like, when I say money, I mean I'm not talking about like a couple $100. I'm talking about money so you can like live on just throwing shows.
I don't know. I'll let you know when I get there.
Okay, right on, dude. Yeah. Just shut up, dude. Where are you hiding all the money, dude?
I mean, it took a long time. Like when we started Subsonics, we did it in the big ass venue. It's called Farmers Market. Well, big comparatively. I mean, not like an arena or anything, but it's 1,300 cap room, and we started throwing these shows, and we were getting like 75 people out on some of them. So, 150 was a good night. I remember our first show that we hit 400. We were like, "Fuck yeah, we're on to something now."
Well, I mean, you're crushing it now, though. I mean, like last event I did with you, how many people were there? Like 3,000?
Yeah, probably over 3.
Yeah, and tonight's gonna do really well.
Yeah.
From what I'm being told.
It potentially could sell out tonight.
Yeah, so rock and roll, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then you're talking about Young Grave and Dylan Friend. No, so you're booking some big shows now.
Yeah.
There's no way you're not hiding some money somewhere, dude.
No.
You acting broke, but these promoters, they're all like, dude,
Well,
they're rich.
It's funny, because that's what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
Like, you do a good show, and everyone, man, he's got money. Like, you owe somebody money for some. You may not owe them for 3 more months, and they're like, oh, hey, can you go ahead and pay that? Like,
Yeah,
this
it's like-
equipment loan. We saw that show, but it's like these big shows are the hardest to make money because, the agents, the venue, everyone knows what the show should make, and there's a formula. So really, they say the promoter's the dumbest guy in the room because he's the only one not guaranteed to make money.
Is that what they say?
I mean, they do say that because if the show flops, you got to pay the stagehands, you
Yeah.
got to pay the venue,
Yep.
you got to pay the artist, you got to pay the guy that brought the fucking CDJs and backline, the light guy. Everyone gets paid, and
The guy in the back with the nitrous tank, dude. You got to pay him.
yeah, exactly, fucker. But so it's tough. I mean, it's tough that like when you lose a bunch of money and you're still cutting checks. But
Yeah, and
that's
then
the name of the game.
And then you'll have a show where you'll make a lot of money and be like, oh yeah, this is dope, but also owe this guy for the last time I bombed or stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like, just I'm glad I'm pretty much to the point I don't really need investors anymore.
Yeah.
And that's tough because you have people that come and like, man, I want to invest in the show. Sometimes the show's their idea, the artist, and then they lose money, and you're just like, I'm not the type of guy that's like, yeah, sorry, fuck off, know. And that's kind of where I started. When I did have investors, I'd be like, hey, let's do a run of shows together. And that's kind of where I took that mindset of grouping them together. Like, let's see at the end of all this how much you made, or because people want to come and invest in one show. I'm like, I just don't even recommend it because you're putting all your eggs in one basket. So.
Right. Now, since you're talking about, this is a great segue. You're talking about partnering up and investors. Now, how did you get linked up with Wakaan? Because you were one of the main producers of Wakaan Fest this past year. Am I right about that?
Well, I'm one of the owners.
Yeah.
Me and Liquid Stranger own it, and then Wakaan.
Oh, I did not know that you actually owned Wakaan Fest.
Well, not just me, but
It's you,
the man.
Martin.
We're partners on it.
Okay, rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was Loper, brother.
Well, Loper, he has Wakaan, or is I don't know exactly the breakdown and all that. That's between them, but
Yeah, right.
He Loper's Wakaan,
Right, yeah.
Like,
I mean, I know you're all Wakaan,
yeah. I mean, they're the guys. Like, even though I may be an owner, like, he can flex on me at any moment.
Right, yeah.
Like, he's the man.
He's that silent killer, though, dude.
Yeah, love that guy.
Well, how did you and how did this all come about then?
Well, they're based out of Oklahoma City. Warpath is.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. Our offices are actually next door to each other.
Yep. I've been to both.
We have. That's
Y'all's
true.
is a little nicer.
Really?
Well, y'all have the break room. That's where I just sat there, drank beer, and talked
we got
about
the
football.
couch, TV.
Yeah.
We got beer on tap.
Yeah, so that's I guess that's why I
that's
enjoyed it.
basically I set that up as my man cave because I can't have one at home. I live with 3 women,
Yeah.
2 daughters, and a wife. So
No man cave.
no,
Yep.
they rule the show there. So I have my escape. I have my little man cave.
I'm working at the office tonight.
Exactly.
Really, you're just butt
No.
naked doing cocaine and drinking beer.
Watching Taboo talks. But what are we talking about? Oh yeah, Wakaan.
Wakaan,
So yeah, I mean, we developed a friendship and working together, doing shows and bringing their artists, and I have mad respect for those guys, and they've helped me a lot. Nate and Loper, just with advice and different things like that. And I've always been a huge fan of Martin, Liquid Stranger, and it kind of started. I think the fans were kind of demanding something, and they were discussing it, and we wanted to throw it in Oklahoma originally, so we were scouting and looking for places, and kind of talking about just doing like a big 1-day festival, like something like a Wakaan takeover type thing. And then it kind of grew from there, and we went out to Mulberry Mountain. We spent the day. We're like, we might as well go check it out. It's close enough. It's like 5 hours away.
Right.
So we drive out there, and we're driving through the mountains. And we stop at this little store, and get back in, keep going up the mountain. It's just beautiful.
It is a good drive.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we pull in, and it's like this big field, and they have a permanent stage in the back corner, and like there's this little like low-lying fog on the ground. And we pulled in. It was like immediately we kind of looked at each other like,
this is it.
Yeah, this is the spot. So it came from that, and just kind of grew from there. We brought on a guy, Dan. He's the festival director. He has Cosmic Kingdom, and he's helped start 515 Festival. Awesome guy. We just have a really great team. I mean, with Loper, Nate, myself, and Dan, and then Martin at the helm. It works. It worked really well. I thought the festival was awesome, and it's not guaranteed to go forever. We don't know. We kind of took it. Let's try it and see how it goes, and then we're going in year 2, and really excited about that. But we want to keep it about the same size. It's not like a big like money hungry cash grab. We want to keep it kind of
community.
Community boutique, like just the family.
That's why I really fucking like you though, dude. I can tell like you really care about the experience. Like that's why I liked you from the first time I met you. I didn't even know you were. You're the guy who booked me. I was just fucking around with you, and I liked you from the get-go. I could just tell you have a love for just making everybody else love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's my favorite thing is like sitting back, like when a show's packed out, everybody's having a good time. Sometimes I don't really get to watch the show or relax, but I like to sit at the back and just watch the people.
Yeah.
Or go back behind the stage and like see the people at the front and the crowd, and I'm always seeing like I try to stand different angles in the venue and different shows and kind of think from the crowd's perspective, what can we do to make this better?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to just get stagnant and just keep throwing up the same production, and we always try to make it different and
make it sexy.
But it's about safety, foremost, and people having a good time.
Yeah, wear a condom.
Wear a condom.
No, but back to Wakaan Fest, man. I will say for like a first-year music festival, I don't think it could have been done better, man. I'm sure you might think of like, there's these little things, but as far as like me being an artist, but not only artist, like I was massed up in the crowd just enjoying the festival.
Yeah.
Dude, it was flawless. Like everything was going so smooth. I didn't feel like there was any big hiccups, man.
There weren't, luckily. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood, yeah.
But yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, I've never seen so many artists that like stayed for several days and just hanging out. Like at the end of the night, there's artists that played at 5 o'clock still there. Even in the crowd, just walking around. And that was so beautiful about it. I mean, it was just you can't really. I don't know. I've never experienced anything like that. And it was really
great,
cool
man.
to be like such a, be a part of it and just have such an impact on people.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a super funny memory from Wakaan, something that maybe it was like someone in the crowd or maybe dealing with an artist? Like, is there just one thing that just stands out? You're like, yeah, this part was fucking hilarious.
I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty. I can't think of one at the moment.
Damn,
unfortunately.
Dude. You disappointed everybody right now, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's like, it seemed like it took forever to get through it, but then when it was over, it was just like, bam. It was like, wow, that happened really fast.
Yeah.
But when you're in the real time, I have a funny story.
There we go.
I have a funny story. So some of my best friends came, and they don't really go to shows, and they're not involved in the culture or whatever. And they ran an RV, came, and one guy, he's like, businessman, salesman. And he goes, the first night, like they come out and, they're normal, whatever. Then so I swing by their RV at like 2 a.m. and they're like, I'm like, well, where's so-and-so? And they're like, we haven't seen him. We don't know where he is. What the fuck? So I get on my golf cart. I'm kind of driving around, I'm checking on shit and I kind of keeping an eye out for him. About, I don't know, 4 a.m. He's down like in one of the, with the vendors, like cooking. He's got a pashmina on, like shirtless, like hanging out, like became one of the Wooks.
Yeah,
and
they'll get you.
It was fucking awesome, dude. He's just like living the life. He's totally engulfed in it. He's like, oh man, dude, I was talking to all these people. Like he had all these gifts from the vendors for me. Cause he's like, yeah, my buddy's, one of the owners or whatever, talking to him. They're like, oh, we'll give him this. So I have all these pins and shit that he got for me.
He has like these crystals. He's like,
exactly. Yeah. Stickers and all kinds of
dude.
shit. So that's probably my favorite memory.
That's a good one though, man. Dude, that's awesome.
It was badass.
Like, dude, we've been looking for you for 4 days.
He stayed. He stayed in it the whole festival.
He's like still there.
He's still like, every time I see him, he's like, man, next year I can't wait.
Dude, I can't wait for next year, dude. I did a podcast with Martin, and I'm like, the entire time I'm just waiting until the end. So I'm coming back next year, right? That was like
he's like, we'll see.
He told me I'd be.
He locked it in.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think he said it on the podcast, and if he didn't, I sound like a dick right now.
Yeah, well, at least you have it on video. You have proof.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think he said it,
Yeah.
but also I think a lot of things that happen and then they don't. They never happen.
You imagined it. Oh, well, it's half the battle.
Yeah, dude. Like I thought my dad loved me, and I'm like, what is this?
What?
I'm joking, dude. This is a dark joke.
Loper and Nate are doing all the booking, so they're awesome.
Yeah, dude. Loper looks like a resident DJ at a biker bar.
He's intimidating.
It's very intimidating, dude.
But
and then you think Nate's
dude.
even more intimidating, and he comes at you with the biggest smile. He might give you a little smooch. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I think both of them could be intimidating when they want to be, but they're sweethearts. They're softies.
Dude, every time I see Nate, he's just happy to see me, and I'm happy to see him, dude.
Yeah.
He's just hugs and
laughs,
dude. Man. I love that guy.
Hell yeah.
But back to like throwing shows, relation. I don't know what the fuck I was just trying to say with that sentence, dude. But do you feel like the festival scene has made it harder for artists to get booked in more intimate venues?
It has. The main thing that I hate about festivals is these like radius clauses.
Dude, yeah.
And we're right in the middle of several big festivals. So Oklahoma City and Tulsa get radiused out of a lot of stuff. And it makes some of our events hard to book and navigate. Like we do 3 one-day massives. We have Painted Forest, Liberty and Lasers, and Daydream. Those are all outside in Oklahoma City. So it makes it tough on those. And we got to navigate, okay, well, is so-and-so playing this? Damn, we can't get them. So that's one thing that makes it tough. But I love, like we have a little venue we book in Oklahoma City called 89th Street, OKC, and it's like a 275 cap. And that's one of my favorite places to do shows because it's small. Like we did Charles the First there, right when he was kind of blowing up, sold it out, and it was just packed out. I mean, amazing vibes. And it's like when you can get those artists at the right time that'll come in and play there, and it's less stress for me, so I get to kind of relax and enjoy it a little more.
Just knowing it's going to be fine, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy when you have, especially when it's sold out, like, show, and you got people trying to get in, you got fake tickets, you got people all jacked up, fighting each other. Not fighting, we don't really have any fights, but fighting to get to whatever. I mean, so rap shows, we have fights. Country shows, we have fights. But luckily, Subsonics, I don't think we've ever had any. But, it just gets crazy. So sometimes the smaller shows are my preference.
Shit, dude, I got in a fight at your last show, bro. I fought about 50 wasps with my bare hands, dude. I told you about that, didn't I?
They weren't even wasps, though.
Dude, yes, they were.
They didn't sting anybody. Did you get stung?
Because I killed them all. Dude, literally,
You were a badass.
Dude, I'm not fucking around. In that shack, there was like 2 wasp nests, and me and my brother stood in the middle of the room, back to back. And every time a wasp would come, he had a rag. I had my fist. I would punch
God.
it as hard as I can, and a force of, I'm a strong dude.
Yeah,
okay?
I can tell.
You hit a wasp. That bitch is dead. I'm not kidding, dude. We were fucking them up.
Well, it was funny because like the owner, we kept clearing everyone out. He would come in and spray everything down. He sat in there for like 10 minutes multiple times.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't see one wasp. Finally, middle of the night, we figure out they're in the like door jam.
Yep.
So it's when you come out or come in, that's when the wasps come down.
Well, me and my brother literally killed about 50 of them bitches, dude.
Appreciate it.
I put a post on like just on social media, like box 50 wasps. What'd you do? And everyone's like a liar. I'm like, no, dude,
literally.
it happened.
It sucked. Like that's one stressful thing. It's like, damn, you're just like, when stuff's out of your control like
I
that,
have fun
out in
doing it.
nature. But yeah, but some some
Literally,
of the
we
other
just
people,
got drunk and killed wasps. It was fun.
That's the right attitude.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is. It's out of your control. What are you gonna do?
Hey, why am I gonna be scared of a wasp? I should be
Kill
scared
a
of
wasp,
me, dude.
yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I own guns, dude. What's a wasp own? A fucking dirt nest? Get out of here.
Fuckers. I hate wasps.
Dude, what's your favorite memory of a show or event that you've produced or helped produce?
I don't know. Probably the first time we did Painted Forest. It's like a heavy bass paint party, and it was it was like 100% my concept, my brand, and it was a new venue, and you're just you're really taking a risk. It's like, are people gonna be receptive to this? Are people gonna come out? I think when we did that show, it packed out. It was a great show, and that's just one of my favorite milestones. And of course, Wakaan. I mean, that was just amazing, so surreal.
Yeah.
I mean, that first night on the main stage, just like whatever I do or whatever's going on, I'm gonna go watch Martin's set. And he played Dissolve, which is one of my favorite songs of his, and just kind of sitting up there, up by the sound booth and looking down on everybody, and just the vibes of that show. I mean, that festival were just off the charts. I mean, like people were so loving and caring of each other, and people like sitting on their blow up couches and just like respecting each other's space. And there was so much room to have space, and
it wasn't
you
crammed
could
at all.
walk up to I literally walked up to the rail and walked back. Like you could do that. That's unheard of.
Well, it's not like a rail riding show. People aren't like headbanging on the rail. They're just out there vibing.
Yeah.
Just straight vibes, bro.
Yeah.
So much,
Charts,
so
bro.
much vibes, dude. I mean, that's what's beautiful about Wakaan. It's like, it's literally a community, dude.
Yeah.
It's almost a cult,
Yeah.
Kind
of.
of.
I love
like
it.
a cool
I
cult.
hate to, not we don't want the connotations of a cult, but yeah, I mean, like, people say the Wakaan fans, I mean, fan base, I call it it's literally like
Wakaan
a family.
family, yeah.
It's crazy.
I will
They're
say,
very
like,
passionate.
from an artist perspective, I wouldn't even at that time have considered myself a Wakaan artist, and I felt like they were taking a little bit of a chance, especially with them giving me a comedy set.
That was amazing.
They had no idea what I was gonna fucking say up there, dude.
It was awesome.
But it's just like I felt like they gave me a chance, and I felt accepted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was like, I really did feel accepted, and that's what I really love about the whole Wakaan community. They're very open minded. Like, okay, this might be a little different, but let's give it a chance. And that's what I really liked about it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. I can't say enough good things about it.
Me neither,
about it.
man. Yeah, it's just beautiful. But since you just shared your favorite, dude,
Yeah.
if you're comfortable, worst experience throwing a show. Actually, I don't care if you're comfortable. Tell us anyway, dude.
Worst experience was probably it was a Never Say Die tour. It was Schism, Eptic, Lax. No, Schism, Lax, Abstract, and Megalodon. That's what it was. And it was one of our first shows, like when we were kind of on the up and up, and it was going to be one of our first like decent shows. And freaking Megalodon shows up. He's like got the flu. He's about to die. I mean, he looks like death. I'm like, fuck. he's like, hey, I'm just gonna go to my hotel. It does a sound check. He's like, I'm gonna go to my hotel, come back right before my set. So he leaves. Then next thing I know, on Twitter, people are fucking blowing up this post, schisms like we're stuck on the tarmac in Dallas. Well, him, Habstract, and Lax were all on the same flight, and it got grounded on the tarmac. And so they're just sitting there for like an hour, and we're kind of like trying to figure out if they're going to make it, they're not going to make it. And everyone on social media knows. So people like got guy out in front of the venue, like, show's going to cancel, like telling people, but we still don't know. And that's the hard part. It's like, you don't want people to pay for tickets, but the show might still happen. So it's like, how do you navigate that? So that was one of the worst experiences. They didn't make it. But I will tell you, Megalodon with the fucking flu got up there. I think he played for like 2 hours. One of the craziest sets I've ever witnessed. Like, I mean, he threw the fuck down. So hats off to that guy. And then, I mean, yeah, people were pissed off and wanting refunds, and we didn't have a rescheduled date. Like, they're still stuck on a plane. Like, so it wasn't really nobody's fault, but it was just a rough experience. And that was kind of my first experience dealing with weather and flight cancellations. So
yeah. Now you just said that was one of your favorite sets. What's some of your like what music do you listen to? Like, do you really do you go out and like listen to electronic music still? Okay, yeah. So you're a big electronic fan. Like, what are you listening to nowadays?
I mean, I listen to everything. I get on Spotify and just check everything out. I'm really into
TVBOO,
of course, 100%. I love this Martin's new EP.
It's great, yeah.
I was lucky I had to drive out of town yesterday, and Liquid Stranger, and Young Gravy both dropped projects. So I listened to Martin's like probably 5 times on the drive, and then Young Gravy's a couple times. And Tame Impala, is that what they called? Have you heard of them? Tame Impala?
Tame Impala? Sounds like a vehicle.
They're pretty dope. They dropped the album, so I listened to that as well. But
check it out.
I listen to everything. This girl singer, Mallrat. Have you heard of her?
Mallrat?
Mallrat.
Dude, that's awesome.
You got to check her out.
I want to listen to her just because
you should, dude. She's awesome. Her videos are great. I listen to everything. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of country. I'm not really into like new country. I like some of the older classic stuff.
Like folky country.
I grew up in a bluegrass family.
Hell yeah.
Like, my uncle plays mandolin. He's like a badass mandolin player. 3-time world champion mandolin player. My brother live in Nashville. They both play music out there. And so I grew up around bluegrass music, which is weird. I went to like the total other end of the spectrum. But so I'm open to everything. And I'm always trying to find new stuff and what's, up and coming and things like that.
Dude, that's like perfect segue. Since you said up and coming, what do you think is a big change that we will see over the next year or two in the music scene? These up and coming changes.
I don't know. You don't know.
I mean, that's the thing. No one knows, bro. They're always trying to figure it out.
Rap is really surging right now. It's trending with the young kids, the high schoolers. I'm lucky I have nieces and my daughter. They're all in high school, and I kind of ask them about stuff and what they think, and I get their opinion. Like, hey, have you heard of this artist? No, or yeah, book them. So I get their advice sometimes, but it's tough, man. It's because Oklahoma's in the middle of the country, so things hit us a little bit later. So something may be popping off somewhere, and you may book it too early, and it can cost you. So it's hard to see what the trends are going to be. I mean, agents do a good job with. There's not as many agencies as there were, so they can kind of navigate things a little bit and feed you things sometimes that you got to listen to ones you trust, because some will just be like, no, book this, it's going to smash. And you're like,
dude, this dude will sell 5,000 tickets.
Yeah.
And he'll fucking pay your child support at the same time,
Yeah. That was tough when I first started, because you kind of had to, I had to book stuff to prove myself. So you're overpaying for one, and then you're getting these acts that maybe not everybody wants. So, kind of have to pay your dues. And When they see you're serious, it's tough. Like, I can't imagine how many maybe dipshit promoters that are out there that are throwing unsafe shows or whatever. So it's tough to take a risk on new promoter. I get it. I see both sides of it.
Do you think electronic music's still growing, or do you think it's kind of flatlined a little bit?
I think it's growing. I listen to a lot of alternative, I guess it's not alternative rock, but alternative music now. And I see a huge influence from electronic music into that, as well as rap, like Glass Animals. I mean, they kind of use a little bit of everything and stuff like that. I mean, I think we'll see a lot of fusion moving ahead.
There's one thing for sure: a kid making music on his computer is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna get bigger.
It's just gonna get bigger and bigger, man. That's what I love about electronic, man. It's just getting crazy.
Yeah,
it's getting a little wild there. But I got a few more for you, dude. How'd you get linked up with Disco Donnie?
It was actually through another promoter, and he through the Life in Color shows with Disco Donnie in Tulsa and Oklahoma City, and then they had a tour, the Dat Sick Ninja Tour, and they wanted to move it from the convention center to the venue that I was working out of, and I still am. But so he came to me, and he'd only done Life in Color where everything just shows up. Well, he didn't realize like this tour, like just not everything comes with it. So I kind of came in and helped him book, like stagehands and all the extra stuff he needed, and just kind of developed a relationship with them, that company, and we used to all throw shows together. And Happy was the other promoter. He died in a plane crash, so he's not involved anymore. But so we just that's how it came about, and we work really well together, and enjoy our stuff we do together. They've helped me grow and taught me several things that I was kind of green, and I have mad respect for them, and I'm a very loyal person. Like I could try to do shows without them, but why? We work so well together, and right. I think from the top down, like I think Donnie really cares about people and the patrons and things like that, and having good experiences, and that's important to me. So that's the thing, is just surrounding yourself with people with the same mentality and the same goals. It helps.
I think I'm like high-fived him at Freaky Deaky.
Nice.
There was this older cat, and I was getting off stage, and he was like the first guy. He's just hand up high five, and he high fived me, and I was off the stage, and I was like, "Was that fucking Disco Donnie?"
What's crazy? I've never met him.
Really?
Like, we've been doing shows together for 5-6 years. Never met him. Talked on the phone. Talked on email. Well, they have different. I have a different someone else in the company that we deal with day to day, and we talk all the time. But I talk to him occasionally, and so I'd like to meet him someday. That'd be cool.
All right, I got two good ones for you, man. What's your most embarrassing moment throwing a show? Where that'd be like, you know what, you booked some DJs and you didn't have CDJs, or like, man, just whenever you're learning, you're like, fuck, I wish I would have known this.
The worst experience was Bone Thugs and Harmony. Mm-hmm. They showed up, they're Bone Thugs and Harmony, but they didn't come to a sound check. So I'm like, what the fuck? So they don't do a sound check. They show up right before their set, walk up on stage, start rapping and singing, and it sounds horrible. It's just, the sound guy engineer is trying to mix on the fly. And nowadays they have a tablet, so they don't have to be at the soundboard. Well, I'm at the soundboard. He's over somewhere in the fucking crowd mixing the shit. Well, they stop and they're like, "Sound man, we aren't going to keep going until you fix this sound." I'm the only person at the soundboard. The whole crowd turns around. Everyone's looking at me. And I'm like, what do I do? So I just start like acting like I'm messing with shit. I'm just like, where the fuck is the tech?
Were you really pretending you're doing something?
I mean, kind of. I was just like but I don't want to fuck anything up, you know? So I'm just like, that has to be hands down the most embarrassing
I can just
experience.
see you, like, they're all turning and looking at you, and you're just turning around to see if there's
Yeah,
anyone
I
else
like
behind
looking
you.
around
You're
like, oh, fuck. This
fuck.
is happening. And I'm like the biggest Bone Thugs and Harmony fan. Like, I grew
Yeah.
up listening to
And
that
you're
shit.
like, fuck, they hate me right now.
Exactly. Like, this sucks.
Dude, what's the craziest rider you've ever had? Like, ever seen or provided? Like, maybe, like, you see someone on there, like, why the fuck is this on there? Or maybe it was like, yo, this is way too fucking expensive. You're crazy.
Man, I can't think of. I know there's been some crazy stuff. Nowadays, you just redline it if it's too outlandish. You're like, nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff. Like somebody like, I want a shot glass from the city.
That's cool.
So I always try to go get that stuff. We got somebody like an Oklahoma license plate with some personalized note on it. I can't even remember who that was, but we try to do, you know, when they want stuff like that, it's cool. I mean, there's been stuff like they want like some random DVD from like the 80s or some.
Yeah, I want Girls Gone Wild from the fucking 2003, you know? Like,
I want to say it may have been Young Gravy. Somebody wanted a pair of shoes that were like super fucking expensive.
like hell no.
We tried to get them, but we couldn't fucking find them anywhere. I didn't know how expensive. It was some Nikes. I'm thinking, oh,
Yeah.
$100, cool. But no, they were like some shit we couldn't find. So I don't know what ended up happening. But usually it's a test. Like, are you paying attention? So if you, or hey, we can't find this, or we're not gonna do this, they know you read it. Like, and that's kind of, I think, how that whole thing started. Like, I don't know. So maybe it was David Lee Roth or somebody said, I knew if I asked for green M&Ms and I walk in that green room, the green M&Ms aren't there. What else are they not paying attention to?
Right,
so
right.
That's the mentality of it, I think. But
Have you ever seen is my rider the easiest rider you've ever seen?
what, PBR?
Yeah.
I mean, I think water and PBR
That's
and a
about
towel.
it. And a towel, yeah.
Yeah,
The easiest one
I
ever.
love it. I mean, most riders are pretty realistic.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially in electronic.
Right.
Nothing
Right.
crazy.
Did you ever see Jack Hughes' rider? I saw it
I
online.
saw it. Yeah, somebody posted it.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I wonder if that's real. We got Steve Aoki coming up. I know I've never booked him before, but I know he needs a bunch of cakes and stuff like that, and they're like specific sizes. And he's got a lot of cool shit that's going to be kind of crowd interaction that we need to get. So it's going to be crazy, but I think in a good way.
Rock and roll, man. Well, I want to get to some fan questions.
Uh-oh.
We got some really good questions this
Okay.
week on the hotline.
Uh-oh.
Nothing too crazy. Like, they were actually like, I got a bunch of calls, but I narrowed in on 3 that actually were really good questions. Other one's like, hey, dude, can you guest list me or some shit? So this is my boy Jalen, man. He's a frequent caller on the podcast. I appreciate you calling in, Jalen.
Yo, Taboo and Waylon Clark. This is Jalen Evans. I'm calling from Kingsport, Tennessee. And Waylon, I got a question. Other than like the Wakaan Fest and stuff, what's been your favorite show that you've been able to book out there? Hope you'll have a good day. Peace.
Out here, so we'll say out here in Tulsa / OKC. Favorite show to book out here?
I don't know. I think like I touched on that Painted Forest show, that first one we did. I think that was great. One of the coolest shows we've done was one of the Daydreams, and it was Boombox Cartel, and like this light rain came through, kind of just at this like epic time with the lighting, and that's one of my favorite. I don't know if that's my favorite show, but that's one of my favorite like memories of just kind of standing in the crowd and everyone's just like looking at the sky, but the way the lights were hitting, it was really surreal.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Loved that.
That's awesome. Were there like a lot of girls in white t-shirts too? That probably made it a lot cooler, you know, like a lot of titties everywhere.
I mean, you know, these kids, my daughter is close in age to these kids that come to shows. So it's like, they're all like kids to me.
Way to
if you know
make it
what I mean.
weird.
I know,
okay.
sorry.
Damn it, Waylon.
they literally call me Papa Way.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude, I'm
it's
telling
like,
you need to rename your rap name Lil Papa.
Little Papa.
Yeah. I
Like
think it's
it.
dope, man. But Jalen, I appreciate you calling in, man. Great
Thanks,
question. So this is another fella with a really good question.
Yo, Taboo, this is Pyre Records. So this is calling to say I love you guys. I love what Wakaan's doing. I love the label. I love your music so much, man. Your 303 edit is absolutely mental. But aside that, I just have a couple questions for the big homie. So what do you think is the most difficult aspect of throwing shows? I think personally for me, it's like, just organizing everything, but like, choosing a stage, choosing the sound system you're going to put on it. What do you think is the most difficult aspect of throwing shows? Would love to hear your response. Thank you guys so much. This is Pyre Records. Appreciate the hell out of both of you guys. Seriously, I love you guys so much. I hope that I get a response, man. Thank you.
Hey, Ty, I appreciate you calling in, man. Love you too, brother.
The hardest part is just there's like this 20 minutes before the doors open, and it's just going through everything. I mean, it gets easier as it goes. The years go by, you kind of have stuff somewhat on cruise control, but there's just like this pivotal 20 minutes because I hate, like, my pet peeve is when we have to push doors for any reason.
Yeah.
Because people are out there waiting. Sometimes there's weather. Some people come and staying out there for hours, and it's like the last thing I want to do is stall that in like 5 or 10 minutes. Because once that 7 o'clock door is supposed to open, people start freaking out. So I think just that last 20 minutes and all the stress, I mean, I don't know. There was one guy that used to work for me, and we couldn't get this printer to work, and it was just like all this shit was going wrong, and I just like went off on him right at the doors.
You motherfucker.
Pretty much. Everyone's like, oh, because I'm pretty chill.
You're chill, dude.
So
you
like,
look stoned all the time.
all the time. So he pushed me, and shout out Chris Stum. He was always
stoned?
Chris Stum. He was good at pushing my buttons, but
Hell yeah.
he's a good guy. He's actually a news reporter
Okay, cool.
now, and he's like on the news and shit.
Now,
But
once the show starts up, would you say it's just like cruise control, everything's... Once the show actually opens up, would you say it's all gravy after that, really? The show kind of runs itself?
Usually. Until, like, once the headliner goes on, then you can kind of have a lot of drama. Just, making sure people are safe, people are dehydrated or falling out or whatever. So,
Yeah.
But we do... Just shout out to these girls there, and they're called the Subsonics Angels.
Okay.
And Misty started that program, and they have a table. They all wear pink shirts. There'll be one sitting at a table. They have water, but they go through the crowd. They walk by the rail, and you'll see them tonight. They're in pink shirts, passing out water. If they see someone sitting there and looks like something may be wrong, they'll get them to a medic. So I think people are scared to go to security, like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble. Maybe they were drinking underage or whatever, and they're scared, so they don't want to go to security. So this is kind of like a lifeline in between that. And we've seen like a huge reduction in incidents with people.
Dude, that's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
I think all scenes need something like that. And
Yeah.
and it was Misty who set all that up?
Misty
You should
Jinx.
start calling her Misty Elliott.
We should.
Yeah.
She goes by Jinx. She's got some tracks out. You should check her out.
Jinx.
She's awesome.
There's another...
There,
DJ
I know,
yeah.
two Jinx, and I think they both played the same music festival once.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe in Florida, because I think the other Jinx is from Florida.
Yeah, she's from Florida, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good friend of mine, Noelle. Shout out Noelle.
Yeah, we were like, oh, no, not another Jinx. But
Yeah, dude, there's
they
another
spell it
Taboo,
differently.
though, dude.
Is there really?
Yeah, with an A, that cocksucker. It's the DJ for the Black Eyed Peas.
There's a DJ called Subsonics. I'm like, dude, I actually own that name. Like,
Yeah.
you can't use it.
Yeah. That was one of my main reasons for going to a V.
Nice.
Was because of DJ Taboo for the Black Eyed Peas. Fuck them.
That's what when I fuck him.
Fuck 'em.
So when I was Warbucks, I went to 2 S's because there was like other Warbucks popping up, so I added an S.
Dude,
or,
honestly,
or you could use a $sign.
right on. That's a pretty hip hop thing to do.
Hell yeah.
Dude, honestly, like changing my A to a V was a blessing in disguise because if
Yeah.
you searched up Taboo with an A, you weren't even going to find the DJ of the Black Eyed Peas. You weren't going to find anything.
Nothing.
You're going to find fucking porn sites. You're going to find fucking television shows, lingerie stores. Do you know how many things are taboo? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Search with the V. I'm the only one, daddy. That's just me.
I hate it. I'm trying to think. There was someone I was trying to search the other day, and I couldn't even find their shit, and I just gave up.
Mm-hmm. You had to go to SoundCloud, and there they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a really good question, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
I really, really enjoyed this question right here.
Hey, Daddy, this is Jules from Green Bay,
Fucking
Wisconsin.
never said that.
I was just calling to say how excited me and my fam are to see you on the extra day we get this year, February 29th, down in Milwaukee.
See you there.
I had
Yeah.
a question for Waylon. I was wondering, I am a photographer, and I've been trying to kind of break into the festival scene for pictures, and I've been putting out applications and stuff, and I was wondering if you had any advice on that. All right, have your guys spectacular day later.
That's a really good question. Appreciate you calling,
It is.
Jules. What would you say for a photographer out there that's trying to break into the scene and maybe shoot for some shows and festivals?
It's really tough because I mean I get inundated and I try to respond to people, but we have so many emails and it's tough like to get started. I mean I have some people that I've given a shot. They just emailed me and like, hey, can I come shoot for free? Usually I'll say, yeah, you can come shoot. I want to see your pictures before you post any online. If we like any, we'll use them, give you the logo. I've done that several times for videographers and photographers. But if you can just go to a show, if you can meet the promoter, just talking to them, it's tough to do, but you can even ask someone at the door or find a way to meet them face to face. That's generally the best way, and just kind of explain what you're trying to do. But yeah, shoot them an email if you can get the contact, and just ask if they give you a shot to come take some pics, or if you have any good pictures you could send, like maybe go out and take some where you're not official photographer, but use your phone or whatever and try to edit them up, send them something to look at. Because it's crazy. You see a lot of photographers that are really good, like at like press shots and portrait stuff, but live event photography, it's just like a whole beast. And people send you, shots from like, they took a car with a half naked chick on it and nicely edited picture. You're like, man, they're a great photographer.
Yeah.
Then they come out and like try to shoot an event and you're like, whoa, like this looks like my daughter did it with like a Polaroid camera.
Why are you gonna talk bad about your daughter on this podcast, bro?
Because she's 6.
Okay.
But she's actually a really good artist.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. But so I would just try to get face to face if you can, or send them some pictures and just let them know if you come shoot for free and see if they buy. It's tough. It's tough getting opportunities like that.
Yeah. What about for this girl, Jules? Would you be open for her shooting you stuff over email? Maybe she comes shoot for an event that you're throwing out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Jules. If
She
you want to come down
that
to
Talks with
Oklahoma,
Taboo hookup
come down to Oklahoma.
from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah, come down.
Jesus,
If you come down from Green Bay, I will let you shoot whatever event you want.
Rock and roll. Well, sick, man. I want to thank you so much for coming on my podcast
yeah,
today. It's
dude.
been great sitting down and talking with you, learning
Hell yeah.
from you. I'm so glad that I've gotten to meet you over the past year, dude.
Yeah,
like
dude.
you're my favorite person to to play shows for.
Hell yeah.
And dude, I'm really, really fucking happy you came and sat down with me, man.
Man, dude, I appreciate you thinking of me, and I got so much respect for you, and I've loved watching your career, and I can't wait to watch it keep blossoming, for real.
I appreciate you, man. So what's next for Subsonics? What you got going on next? What'd you say is the next big thing? Spoil everything.
We've got a ton of we got this new Excision production that's coming in March. March and April are crazy. Like we have a week where it's like Subsonics. 2 days later is Liquid Stranger in OKC. The next day is Liquid Stranger in Wichita. 3 days later, we have Steve Aoki. The next night, we have Dylan Francis, Young Gravy. The next week's like Keizo and Spaghetti. So we got this run that's just going to be insane. Like my staff they're probably going to kill each other and kill me, and but we'll power through it. And we're super busy, and it's awesome. It's great to see people, living off this shit. So
Fuck yeah, man. And they can find all that stuff on your social media and website stuff.
Subsonics.info.
Rock and roll, baby. Well, anyway, dude, once again, I appreciate you.
Hell yeah,
Really excited
brother.
for tonight. Love you, dog. And appreciate everybody listening out there. I will see y'all next week. Peace.